Hello, PokeMinders!
And welcome to our weekly PokePod,
where we discuss everything related to mental well-being as well as our journey as a startup.
I'm your host Yusuf.
And I'm your host Sarah.
And today we're gonna poke some minds.
Hello, PokeMinders! Welcome to the PokePod. Thank you so much for tuning in. In today's episode, I'd like to focus on mindfulness as a part of your daily routine to maintain your overall well-being. So what exactly is mindfulness? As I mentioned in the previous episode, mindfulness involves the ability to attentively observe the present moment without judgment. It's about fully immersing oneself in the moment, embracing emotions and sensations, all while maintaining perspective. The objective is to alleviate pain, tension, and stress, to gain better control over your mind and develop the capacity to perceive reality as it truly is. So the motivation for you to finding just a little bit of time for mindfulness is to be able to become better at realizing when you are stressed, when you're procrastinating or avoiding something or someone, and to get a better understanding of the driving thoughts and emotions behind it. It's hard to set boundaries or to know when we need to take a break when we don't really know when our boundaries are being crossed or when our body or our mind needs a break. Being on autopilot and automatize certain tasks is an important and very useful skill that our brain is capable of to make our life easier. We'd go insane if we'd constantly be aware of every internal and external stimuli. For example, we are getting better at driving once we have automatized the skills that are needed to drive the car, and we can actually focus fully onto the road and the things happening around us. Or just being able to go on a walk or ride a bicycle without having to constantly focus on our balance. We have the chance to focus on other things at the same time. But there can be too much of a good thing, and we start forgetting all the things we've done because we are only functioning on autopilot. Mindfulness will help you to better focus your attention when it is needed. Some might think of mindfulness as the art of meditating for endless hours, but let me assure you, it's much more accessible and versatile than that. Luckily for most of us, mindfulness doesn't crave several hours to be effective. At its core, it's about intentionally living in the present moment, free from judgment, rejection, or attachment. It's not confined to meditation only. You can practice it anytime, anywhere, doing anything. Whether you're brushing your teeth, doing the dishes, or winding down for bed, mindfulness can be a part of your daily routine. But of course, meditation is a form of practicing mindfulness and mindfulness skills. Meditation can be practiced while sitting, standing, or lying quietly for a predetermined period of time. When meditating, we either focus the mind, which involves techniques to be able to concentrate your attention on a specific object, thought, or mantra. For example, we focus on body sensations, emotions, thoughts, or our breath. And these practices aim to narrow your mental focus and eliminate distractions, leading to a deeper state of concentration. The intention is to anchor your mind to one point of focus, which can help quiet the chatter of the mind, reduce stress, and promote relaxation. Or we focus on opening the mind in meditation. The goal here is to expand awareness and consciousness without concentrating on any specific object or thought. Instead of narrowing the focus, these forms of meditation encourage a more open and receptive state of mind. You observe your thoughts, emotions, and sensations without judgment, simply being present in the moment. This practice opens your awareness to whatever arises without trying to fix or change it. The idea is to let thoughts come and go, allowing you to become more aware of your inner and outer experiences. There are many different forms of meditation that differ mostly by whether we are opening the mind or focusing the mind. Mindfulness can also be a contemplative prayer as part of your religion. Mindfulness can also include movement. Examples are yoga, martial arts such as Tai Chi, and spiritual dancing. It can also be hiking, horseback riding, or just going for a walk. Since we already talked a lot about wise mind in the previous episode, I would like to focus today on the so-called what and how skills when practicing mindfulness. Let's start with what skills. They include to observe, which means to notice your body sensations, like coming through your eyes, ears, nose, skin, and tongue. Deliberately focus on the present moment. Manage your attention consciously without attempting to control what you perceive. Avoid pushing anything away or clinging to any particular experiences. Practice wordless observation. Watch thoughts come into your mind and let them slip right by like clouds in the sky. Notice each feeling rising and falling like waves in the ocean. Practice both inner and outer observation, paying attention to your internal thoughts and feelings as well as the external world around you. You can practice observing by directing your attention towards what you can see, hear, smell, taste, or feel on your skin. Additionally, you can observe your urges to engage in or avoid certain actions. Observing entails redirecting your mind to the sensations within your body and thoughts within your mind. Now start to describe. Articulate your experiences. When a feeling, thought, or action arises, take a moment to acknowledge it. For instance, silently acknowledge in your mind, I'm currently experiencing sadness, or I'm feeling my stomach muscles are tightening, or the thought, I can't do this, has entered my mind. Provide a label to what you observe. Attach a name to your emotions. Identify a thought as merely a thought, a feeling as merely a feeling, and an action as just an action. However, it's essential to remember that in this context, labeling does not involve judging whether something is good or bad, positive or negative. Distinguish your interpretations and opinions from the objective facts. Describe the who, what, when, and where of what you're observing. Stick to the facts. Remember that if you cannot perceive something through your senses, you cannot describe it. Start to participate. Throw yourself entirely into the present activities. Avoid detachment from the current moment, whether it's dancing, cleaning, being with a friend, experiencing joy or sadness. Merge seamlessly with whatever you're engaged in, letting go of self-awareness. Channel your full attention into the moment. Act instinctively from a place of wisdom, known as wise mind. Perform only what's necessary in each circumstance, like a skillful dancer harmonizing with the music and the dance partner. Embrace the natural flow. Now let's talk about the how skills. Those include to be non-judgmentally. Like I mentioned before, when you are describing a moment, don't evaluate if it is good or bad. Stay with the facts. Accept each moment as it is. Acknowledge the difference between helpful and harmful, safe and dangerous, but don't judge them. Acknowledge your values, desires, and emotional responses without imposing judgment. You may desire a more favorable outcome in a challenging situation. Acknowledge this without labeling yourself as foolish for the outcome, considering your wish as irrational, or feeling regret for encountering the situation. Focus on one mindfully. Do one thing at a time. Train yourself to recognize moments of distraction, accept their presence, and gently release them, returning to your current task at hand. Direct your full mental concentration to one activity at a time. It's important to acknowledge that your mind may frequently wander. Instead of becoming frustrated, remember that mindfulness doesn't necessarily entail sustained focus on a single object for extended periods. It involves the ability to notice distractions and skillfully let go of them. How skills also include effective mindfulness, which means to be mindful of your goals in the situation and what you need to achieve them. Concentrate on strategies that align with your strength. Act with skillfulness, addressing the specific needs of your current situation. Skillfulness involves finding a balance between the doing mind, which is goal-orientated and discerning, and the being mind, which is inquisitive, present-focused, and observant. Finding the balance between doing mind and being mind will get you closer to wise mind. For instance, it might mean not stressing about unrealistic goals, and on the other hand, putting your full effort into achievable ones. This balance helps you make better choices and decisions. Release any resistance you may be holding on to. As you aim for effective mindfulness, consider this. Take notice when you start feeling angry towards someone and ask yourself if it contributes to a productive outcome. Also, be aware of the moments when your desire to be right outweighs the importance of being effective, and take a moment to reassess your approach. Being able to use these skills will help you overcome challenging situations and help you find better ways to communicate with others. I would like to recommend a daily 3-minute mindfulness practice. Here's how you can do it. Set aside a specific time, such as every morning or afternoon or evening after you've returned home. First, bring your focus to the present moment and ask, what is my experience right now? Ask yourself, what thoughts and images are passing through my mind? Reflect on, what are my feelings and sensations in my body? Acknowledge them, saying, this is how it is right now. Second, transition into a state of wise mindfulness by concentrating on your breath. Pay attention to the movements in your chest and abdomen. Allow your breath to guide you into the present moment. Third, once centered, expand your awareness. Alongside your breath, include a sense of your entire body, your posture, facial expression, and hands. Fourth, imagine your entire body is involved in the act of breathing, following your breath as if it encompasses your entire being. Fifth, when you feel ready, re-engage in your daily activities, acting from the wisdom of your whole body in the present moment. All these skills I've discussed today will require time and practice. Integrating new routines into your daily life, no matter how small, can be challenging. So please, be kind to yourself and don't become frustrated if you feel that these exercises should come more easily, or if it is difficult to incorporate them into your schedule. It's essential to remember that even recognizing that you might struggle with a new routine or finding something more challenging than expected is a part of mindfulness itself. You're already on the path of mindfulness by being aware of your journey and progress. For today's episode, I'd like to leave it at that. Since we've talked a lot about everyday life situations, I'd like to change it up a little bit and talk about personality traits and explore what shapes one's personality in the next episode. I will also give a first glimpse of the distinctions between personality traits and personality disorders. If you have any questions, feel free to write to team@pokermind.com. Thank you so much for listening, and I hope I poked some minds today. See ya!